What up, Sports Betting Nation? We're back. Episode number 2 of Best Bets Daily. We're coming at you live, sponsored by BetAngles. Thank you for joining us. Here's with my friend Craig again. How you doing today, Craig?
And doing pretty good. Just catching up on a bunch of stuff. I'm going to the NFL Combine, so I leave tomorrow. So I'm just trying to get everything caught up before then.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. Well, have a good time on that. And let's dive right into these best bets. So to give you guys a little recap of yesterday, we gave out 4 plays. We went 2-2. NHL went 2-0. We should have gone 3-1. The Atlanta Hawks were up 17 points. We had them at plus 6.5, which gives us a 24-point edge. Boston ends up winning by 10 or 9. Definitely more than 6.5. So I feel like the 3-1 was looking good. But then it kind of got stolen from us at the end there. But that's all good. We're back at it today. A couple things we want to talk about. We are running our monthly jersey giveaway. Here's how that works. We run a show every day. If you come in the chat room and you throw in a chat and you say, hey, how's it, whatever you say, just say, hey, how's it going? Ask us a question, whatever you want. That gets you 1 entry into the jersey giveaway. The more entries you have, the better chance you have in winning. At the end of the month, we'll draw a winner live on the show, and that person will get to go to either NBA shop, MLB shop, NHL shop, wherever you want to go, and order a jersey. Whichever any player you want. Who would you get, Craig, if you could get anyone today?
We were joking around on our show too. We were thinking about doing when we were potentially doing the basketball league, the winner get a jersey. I'm like, we were talking about pristine auction. I'm like, oh, I want to sign Ben McLemore jersey just because he was my favorite player when he was at Kansas. But he's
Nice.
been on like 5 different NBA teams, so you got to figure out a jersey that he actually had that was signed.
True. Well, that'd be a good pick. So we got JC. Yo, what up, fam? How's it going, bro? Wish you could be here. We'll see you next time. We got a Facebook user. Let's go. I'm assuming that's Dean. So that's great. Now, before we dive into the best bets, we want to let you guys know we're still running our monthly special for $4.99. You can get the next 7 days of our top best bets. To let you guys know, what we do on this show is we pick 4 games at random, and we go through and we talk about the best bets for that game. The games we go over are not necessarily our top plays of the day. If you want those, then you need to have an account on betangles.com, and you can go to this best bets page at the top. And I'm actually going to give people a little preview here today. So if you did have an account, you could come in, click on best bets, and you would actually see our top 3 NHL bets of the day. If you look at this quick, if you want to jot them down, you can. But that is how you can get our top plays if you have an account. As you can see, we are 91-77 on NHL as of the first of this year, hitting at 54%, which is pretty damn good in our minds, and it's only getting better. So let's dive right in. So the games we picked at random, the first game we have on the docket is the Utah Jazz at the Houston Rockets. Last time I looked, this game was at -14. It's actually moved up to -15. This game starts at 8 o'clock. And if we are going to dive right into our best bets situation here, it looks like our supercomputer that we've named Betty. It looks like Betty likes the Utah Jazz at -12.5. The matchup is even. That's not where this bet is scoring its points. If we look at the offensive side, this is most likely where it starts to look better than the Houston side. The Jazz have outscored Houston in the last 10 games they've each played. The Jazz have scored more in 7 out of 10 of those games. So the Jazz offense is certainly looking stronger. And this is a big stat I looked at earlier. In the last 10 games, Utah has given up less points than Houston. So they're out defending Houston. They are outscoring Houston. All of those reasons lead to a Utah Jazz play on the spread. Any comments there on the spread play?
I mean, in terms of this game too, like with Houston, they're a better defensive team too, and the only way that like the Rockets beat any NBA team is if they outscore the other team, and it's because they don't play like much defense. They kind
Right.
of have a fast paced game and everything too, but they get blown out a lot too. Eric Gordon is not playing for them tonight. They get Kevin Porter Jr. back supposedly, but he's still banged up with an ankle, so
Sure.
probably not the best case for them tonight overall.
Yep. Yep, and the stats lean on the Utah side here. And just to summarize, now the one thing that's different about Bet Angles, we do not have people giving out picks. We have our supercomputer nicknamed Betty that we have spent months and months working on, investing money, time, code, effort, development, and it goes through every single game and it finds the best bets based on 15 different factors, all of which we can't give out here, but 3 out of those 15 include the matchup and the offense and the defense side. Now, the over, Betty's liking the over here. However, looking at the stats, in the last 10, there's been 7 unders and only 3 overs. But the offense for Utah has scored, at least half of that total 6 times. And on the defensive side, they're allowing that total. Houston seems to be allowing more points. This, although the over is the pick here, I would say the stats are more kind of up in the air on this one. So I'm not going to be recommending this over 233. Looking at this game, I think Utah on the spread is the best bet you could come out of from this game. What are your thoughts on the over under tonight in this one?
Yeah, so you said 233, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen 229 on
229. It's gone down. Yeah, so
no.
since these best
Yeah.
bets came out,
I
so
mean,
it's actually moving down 229 now. So they're
yeah.
thinking, um,
People are probably betting it down at this point. I think it still probably goes under unless you have a good Houston performance, which I wouldn't bank on at this point in
sure.
time.
And we can actually take a look at who's betting what. It's actually split 50-50 on the under and the over in terms of the number of bets.
Hmm.
However, 85% of the money is on the over. So
Hmm.
if you're looking to
Interesting.
go with the money and where the sharps are likely going, you'll want to look at the over. You can actually get 228.5 on FanDuel. Everywhere
Mhm.
else, other than BetMGM, is at 229. So these are the spots where why not go to FanDuel and win on 229 instead of pushing on 229,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yep.
part of being a BetAngles premium client, you have access to these odds comparison tools to make sure you can constantly find the best play. And that is always a nice thing. Taking a look at the players just quickly on this end, obviously Donovan Mitchell is a beast. It seems like every time I watch him, he is just cruising. Uh, you know, Going to the rim, hitting shots left and right. He would be my, captain per se if you had to pick one guy. Any value plays on this lineup you see?
I mean, I think you can make a case that Rudy Gobert's kind of a value play tonight because he's at 7,800. And usually you're looking for 5 times value there, which is right about that 39. He's a guy that gets you right around 40 most of the time.
Okay.
So he could be there. Decent matchup for him. Kevin Porter Jr., just based on what's projected there, I would say yes, but he's coming off that ankle injury. So I probably don't think, and he's kind of a guy that's been inconsistent throughout the year too. So he's probably going
Right.
to be a little bit down tonight.
Yeah, if he tweaks that
Um,
ankle, that's such a big risk. Someone coming back from injury, if they tweak it a little bit, they'll be out. So,
mhm. Then if you go down to Bogdanovich, he's got him projected for like 27.65. He's a guy he's not been shooting the ball very well lately, and he's kind of needs scoring. Otherwise, he's not going to do much. So if you're playing like a big GPP or something, maybe you could go after him. There's some
yep.
upside there, but you could also go very wrong. And then on the opposite end, if you're going like in a big GPP and trying to get different, you could play Sengun over there too.
Yeah.
So he's a high upside guy, but he looks better in games that are blowouts. There's a chance that he ends up starting alongside Christian Wood tonight since
Oh,
Eric
nice.
Gordon's out. But we'll just have to see how that all shapes out.
Yeah, he seems like a name that's kind of flying under the radar.
Mhm.
Sengun. Perfect. So I would say let's move on from this game. The one bet I'm taking out of this would be the Utah Jazz side, although it's flying up to 15 at this point. But that means that, everyone else is kind of seeing what we're seeing, which is a stronger Jazz team coming in and probably going to blow them out. So that is where we are going to go on that first game. Moving on, we will take a look at the Trailblazers and the Suns. Craig, why don't you fill everyone in on the big injury news there?
Yeah, so Devin Booker's not playing tonight. He's in COVID protocol, so he's not injured, but he's not going to be able to play tonight. Let's see.
So and that was a big. That came out just today, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't. We had no idea this was going to happen. Chris Paul's obviously out. He had a broken thumb. He played in the All-Star game with his broken thumb, which is kind of weird, but we'll see how that all shapes out. But like these teams are a lot more even than these numbers are saying without Devin Booker. The Suns could get Cam Payne back tonight. He's been dealing with a wrist injury. It is on his right wrist, and he's a left-handed shooter, so it probably shouldn't affect his shooting. But there was a rumor he was going to come back last Thursday, and he hasn't come back yet. But he's probable for tonight's game. So maybe they were trying to work on his conditioning. So maybe his minutes look a little bit better in that case. But
I mean, taking a look at the matchup, Suns have covered in 7 out of the last 10 versus Portland. However, most of those have been with Booker. But you know what I see sometimes in the sports betting world? This Booker news comes out. Everyone lays a ton of money on the other team, Trailblazers, and then Phoenix still ends up winning by 15 or 20. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. And at the end of the day, we've made most of our money by trusting the numbers here. This to me is a big one. In the last 10 games, Phoenix has scored more in 9 out of 10. And, with Chris Paul was in, then he was out, and then he came out. Now Booker had a new role on the team, kind of like being that point guard. So maybe with him being out, it helps them sort of be a little bit more traditional,
well, and even like in that case too, so he's kind of around the point before, but now you got Cam Payne, who's coming back from injury, or you got Aaron Holiday, who's just been on the team. Like they just traded for him at the trade deadline, so there's still not as much continuity there either. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game hits the under at 224, and I also wouldn't be surprised if the Suns don't cover, because like these teams are a lot more evenly matched than they would have been if Booker was playing. Let's put it that way.
And yeah, that over under came down. It was 226. And the reason that Betty likes the over, probably most likely, is this trend. 7 out of the last 10 have gone over in this matchup. Portland has not been scoring that much to help reach the over, so in a way that is against it, and the teams usually split in terms of this stat here is, let's say the over-under's at 226. Did the team score 113 points is really what this looks at. Did this team score half of that number? Because in actuality, if both teams score half, then it'll reach the over, right? So that's what this looks at. So Portland, in the last 10 games, only 3 times did they score enough, at least half of that over number. So to your point, the under, could look good. If you're going bit just off the trends, then then you would pick the over. With Booker being out, that is a little bit worrisome. If so, this may be a game that, this is where, like, we pick these games at random, and again, we're telling you what the best bets are for this game, but this is likely not one of the top 3 bets for tonight because of the fact that Booker is out, and it's hard to pinpoint. The numbers may not be as important because the numbers are based on when Booker's playing,
and even like 6 out of those last 10 games probably have Chris Paul too.
Right, so maybe we take a look at, who's going to be playing for Booker tonight, or who's going to have to come up bigger, DeAndre Ayton. Maybe the ball will go more on the inside, or outside with Johnson, Cam Johnson shooting threes, over under on 3-point shots for him, something like that.
And I mean, shooters. I thought it was going to be a pretty good game for Ayton ahead of time.
Yep.
I have him projected for like 36, but
Yep.
I
What do
think
you
the
have a
over.
points prop on him? We could take a look at the props here, and maybe that's where DeAndre Ayton is going to be the guy that probably gets more touches tonight because of the situation. So if we
Mhm.
take a look at it, we can find his prop here, and we can give out that as our best bet. So DeAndre Ayton, total assists over 1.5 now. Let's to record a double double. All right, total points 18.5 points
Okay,
and
so it's 18.
assists. What are you looking at? Points and rebounds. Total points and rebounds over under 28.5. And look at this odds discrepancy. Minus 130 on William Hill, minus 115 on DraftKings.
Mhm.
So if you're betting this, don't go to points bet or William Hill and lay the one minus 130. Just saying that. Go to DraftKings, lay the minus 115 and win more for your money,
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Re-
interesting at 18.5. I know when I was looking at Price Picks earlier, it was at 18, so it's definitely
nice.
gone up. It's been about 60. I think it was about 16.5 at the beginning of the day. So
Yeah.
obviously Booker not playing is a big deal though. So
I
uh,
love the points and rebounds because if he has an off scoring night and he still gets 18 rebounds, you got a chance.
mhm.
Or vice versa. I guess it could end up hurting you. But were you thinking points or do you like points and rebounds?
Maybe do the points and rebounds. I think like in the matchup's just really good too because he's going
Right.
against Drew Eubanks and Trendon Wofford that are like backup centers essentially. And now before like the worry with Ayton was before do they blow the Trailblazers out and he just doesn't get enough run. Well, now the game's going to be more competitive, so he should be
True.
out on the court more at least.
Yeah. That's a sick. That's a good. That helps us. Perfect. So we're gonna add that to our best bets here. Awesome. So I think we've hammered that game to a
Mhm.
shred.
Yeah, I think
Um,
the other one you look at in terms of points would be Anthony Simons for Portland, whatever
okay,
his over
sure.
under on
Yeah,
his points are.
yeah. Take a
Because if
look
the
here.
game's competitive, he should be out there more, and if the game's competitive, he's probably scoring points.
Yeah, and look at this total threes over 3.5. That kind of looks nice. Total points, it's 23.5.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So yeah, if you're looking at a couple player props, then Anthony Simons or DeAndre Ayton,
Mm,
definitely take a
yeah.
look at those. So now we're gonna move to NHL, our bread and butter. 2-0 last night. We had Edmonton and the Flames pinned. If you look at that, if you watched the show yesterday, we came right out. We said Edmonton was very much stronger by the numbers. Lay the 1.5, and they won 3-0. That was sweet. And the Flames at plus, not at plus money, but in a way at plus money, they were underdogs in that game. The Wild were minus 11 and the Flames were minus 108.
Yeah.
And remember we said that they scored more, the matchup was better, and they defend better. So bam. So the numbers definitely the computerized formula helped us arrive to those 2 wins yesterday. So that was huge. So let's take a look. The first game I had here, Blues at Rangers. Rangers are a slight favorite at minus 111. And the over under is at 5.5. If
Mhm.
we take a look at the matchup here, so the best bet here is St. Louis plus 1.5. The matchup does not quite lean towards that. They've only covered 2 out of the last 7. However, the offense is the real swaying factor here. In the last 10 games, St. Louis has outscored New York in 9 out of 10 of those games. So, where we're looking at tonight, if that holds true, they're going to come out and put a lot of offensive pressure on the Rangers, and we can even lose 1-0 and win this game. So
Yeah.
the offense is going to have to totally lay a dud for us to lose this one. I think they can hang. I think they can even potentially win this game. It's another game like the Flames last night. St. Louis is a slight underdog, but with better stats, better team, and recently playing better hockey. From a defensive standpoint, they're about even. So I think the offensive pressure for St. Louis is going to be too much for the Rangers to handle in this game. the over under, we're looking at over here. Again, St. Louis has been on an offensive tear from what these stats are showing. From a matchup perspective, it's even 3 overs in the last 7. From a defensive perspective, they're allowing enough goals about half the time for the over to reach. But St. Louis, I'm really banking on their offense and what this formula is giving us for tonight. So St. Louis plus 1.5 and this over 5.5, I think are 2 great plays if you're looking at a same game parlay. But with the lines, then I think definitely a St. Louis and an overplay is a good look here tonight. What are your thoughts on this one, Greg?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing right now is both these goalies are allowing about 2 goals a game. They both won most of their matches recently, and then but Husso is the confirmed goalie for the Blues tonight, but he's been giving up more goals lately, but they're also been scoring more lately, so that makes the over look a little bit better than it would normally.
Awesome. And Dean said he went 3-1 last night by using the picks from our best bet show. So, all I can say to that is bam. That's what we want, Dean. That's why we do this, to help you guys, show you guys, what's up. And to think, we just picked 4 random games and we went through those games and wanted to see what our formula, what our computer is telling us. And, computers can calculate things a hell of a lot faster than human beings can.
Yeah.
And that's the real advantage that we have. And we'll keep saying it because that's the difference. That's, instead of a human being spending 5 hours researching this stuff, we have it all at our fingertips the moment we wake up in the morning. So that's really helped us a lot. So let's take a look at the players here, just from a quick perspective. The goalie. So is this Husso guy? He's starting.
Yep.
Against Shesterkin. We're gonna have a contest. Who can you say the NHL names the best at some point?
Yeah. The Igor, he is expected to start at goalie. He's not confirmed yet, though.
Okay. So if he does, then look at him. From an offensive perspective, Tarasenko, Kreider, Zibanejad.
I like that guy for Super Draft tonight. His multiplier is kind of decent, and when I was looking at him, and
Mika.
What's his name? Shen is further down for St. Louis. I think he looked all right for Super Draft tonight too.
Braden Shen. So yeah, he's a nice sleeper there. A center at 9.7. With that multiplier, could definitely, be a nice little play there.
I think so. This is DraftKings prices at $4,600. He's got a little bit of upside there too. It looks like. And
awesome.
then what was the other guy? Thomas for St. Louis too. He's kind of like a wild card because some days he's really good, some days he does nothing. So wherever
it
he's
seems
at.
like every time you play him, he does bad, and when you don't, he does good, right?
Yeah, if you just look at his score, it's like good, okay, bad, good, okay, bad. Like
nice. Yeah, you can't get a beat on him, right?
Yeah, but I think at least in Super Draft, I think he's got a decent enough multiplier that, like, if you put him, like, if you just want to put a guy in a lineup, maybe makes some sense there. Or like, even if you're like in the elite package and you have the elite, the premium, and the basic one, if you just want to throw him in the basic one, whereas the cheapest one, you got a chance just to be a little bit different there at least.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. And yeah, definitely if you guys are playing the lineups in the Super Draft, hit us up directly. Hit up Craig, JC. They're, into that a lot. They run a show every day going over that stuff specifically. So we can definitely help you as part of, joining Bet Angles. We'll definitely give you more access to that information. So, look at becoming part of the community, get in for that free week. Well, not free, but that for $5 for 7 days. We're very confident we can make you much more than that investment. And really, think about from the perspective, sports betting or any other investment, stocks, Bitcoin, anything. You want to do your research first before you invest your money. So keep that in mind, and that's where we can help. Researching before you invest your money, making sure you're putting your money in the best places, the best spots. And we're not, as we're not trying to say that we as human beings can do it better. We're just telling you that we have software that can go through everything that really humans can't do and produce the best bets for us. So that's our advantage. So moving on to this last game, Kings at Stars. Interestingly enough, the Kings have been very hot, but you have a Stars team coming in here as a pretty heavy favorite at minus 140. And the formula agrees that Dallas is going to win this game, but it likes the Kings at the plus 1.5. So, from a 6 out of 10, the Kings have covered in 6 out of the last 10 versus Dallas. In the last 10 games, they're scoring a hell of a lot more, and they're defending better. So something's up with this game though. This high Dallas line to me feels a little trappy per se. So I feel like Dallas will win by 1 goal is where I believe this one is going. So if you want the Kings at plus 1.5 or the Dallas money line, I would say that those are the 2 options of where you want to go. I worry about taking the Kings on the money line.
Yeah.
So it's either that Dallas from an over/under perspective, the offense, the Kings and Dallas have both been playing offensively very well, and they have been allowing the total a high frequency of times as well, at least half or more than half of the time. So the over 5.5 to me, and just reviewing this computerized statistics, would be the best play here. Over 5.5 in the Kings Dallas game.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
So just what I'm looking at now. So Ottinger's been playing a lot of goalie lately for Dallas. It looks like he's a second-year player. He's been playing pretty well actually. And then there's Peterson that for the Kings, he's only expected to be the goalie tonight. He has not been playing as good lately. So he's been allowing a little bit. So and LA's kind of stumbling lately, it looks like, but
really, yeah, they beat the Sharks. They had a good run, and then they may have been stumbling lately. From the games I watched, they were playing but this is why we have the computer, Betty, to tell us what's up. The Dallas is better. They're playing better. So, definitely look at Dallas on the money line. And also take a look at the over in that game, though, I think is where you want to go. To me, it seems like it's a pretty big toss up between those two teams there. Taking a quick look at the players, I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got JC Money, dude. We missed you, JC, man. He's giving some crypto advice in the chat. So just to take a look at the players in this game real quick, it looks like the Kings don't have much of an offensive threat. No guys projected over 10. From the Dallas Stars, I mean, Pavelski's always huge. Robertson, Sagan, nice little sleeper play there.
Let's see. Yeah. I guess that Drew Doughty for the defender for LA, he's usually pretty good.
Mr.
But
Doughty.
Yeah, you probably still can go out and get a cheaper defender than 6,000 though too. So
yeah, that's pretty high for a defenseman there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Always
cool. Yeah.
What I always say Pavelski though, when we can play him on Super Draft and stuff, I usually play him because he's from the next town over. So
nice.
When you drive into town, there's a big. Well, it's not even that big of a sign, but it's just like home of Joe Pavelski.
That's huge, man. That's probably the claim to fame for that town,
Yeah, he's a little bit older now, though. I think he's like 36 or 37 now, so he's not as consistent as he once was. But
awesome. Well, so I think we've kind of reached the end here of our review of these games. So as we always do in every show, let us summarize the best bets that have come out of this show. So in case you missed the first 30 minutes, now you can get the actual important stuff in the last 30 seconds. So just to summarize, we like the Utah Jazz to cover over the Rockets tonight. It's actually at 15 now, minus 15. 12.5 earlier. It's sliding up to 15. So I'd say take whatever you can get. The numbers weigh heavily to Utah. Donovan Mitchell can just take over a game at times. Like, how many times have you bet on Utah or bet against Utah and you just watch Donovan Mitchell just take over, win you the money, or take your money if you're on the other team? He's one of my favorites. He's underrated too, if you ask me.
He'll have every once in a while. He has a game where he comes out and shoots like 3 for 20 though. But
yeah, you're right. You're right. Not the ones we bet him though, right?
Hopefully not.
This might be my favorite play of the night. The DeAndre Ayton player prop over 28.5 rebounds and assists. Let me edit that. Points.
Rebounds and points.
Points plus rebounds. My bad. So if you're looking, we usually give game bets. So when we're giving out a player prop bet, look out. So DeAndre Ayton, the over points plus rebounds at 28.5. You might be able to get it at 28 if you can, but look for a big. I think he gets it more with the rebounds there. 17 boards, 14 points. With Booker out, we like the production he's going to get. So definitely look at that. We have the St. Louis Blues at plus 1.5. And the over 5.5 in that game. So if you're looking, if you want to take one or two, or take both, look at the Blues on the money line potentially, but definitely favoring the Blues there and the over. And then to wrap things up, the LA Kings game, Kings at Stars over 5.5. Let me just edit that so people don't think it's just the LA Kings to score 5. The team total is probably like 2.5, right? On the Kings.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that game, Kings versus Stars over 5.5. So my card I will be playing a card of these things. It will be just one last summarize. Utah minus 15. DeAndre Ayton over points plus rebounds, 28.5. St. Louis Blues at plus 1.5, as well as the over in that game. Blues at Rangers over 5.5. And then wrap it up with Kings versus Stars over 5.5. And if you did miss some of the show, you can, rewind back. We did have a money line pick in that game. However, it wasn't one of our favorite 4. So if this is the card for tonight. Yesterday we went 2-2. We should have gone 3-1. Tonight we're gonna blow it up, man. We're looking for 4-0 or 3-1 all day long. Any last words, my friend? You want to shout out your show for later?
Yeah, so obviously you can check out the JC Money and Coach Craig show. Be on my channel, be on JC Money Designs channel as well on YouTube. I think it streams to both our Twitter pages as well. So we'll be talking Super Draft main slate for NBA DFS, the Super Draft Pro Contest, which is the hockey game, which is St. Louis and New York. And then we have golf tomorrow. So golf starts early, so we'll be covering the golf as well. And then later tonight, I'll be on, I think it's just P2W on YouTube, his channel, doing a fantasy football podcast as a guest on there too. So that'd be at like 8 o'clock Central Time. And then our regular show is at 5 o'clock Central Time.
Awesome. And just to remind you guys, we are doing that monthly jersey giveaway. So if we take a look at the chat, whoever, and here's what you can do. If you go watch this video back, all you have to do is comment on the video. Jump on YouTube, search for Bet Angles. We'll also send out the YouTube video, but drop a comment at any point in the video. That gets you into the jersey giveaway. So we have Dean was in there. JC's, we might get JC a jersey just because. There is one more Facebook user, but definitely comment, get on this, jump on the monthly jersey giveaway. It's going to be a good time. Also check out the special that we're running. Head over to betangles.com. You'll see that, when you log in, the best bets will be you'll have to unlock the best bets by signing up. So definitely take a look at our $4.99 for 7 days. That'll give you, again, these top 3 plays of ours. We'll give you guys a sneak peek. If you want our best 3 plays tonight, our Nashville -1.5, the Blues the +1.5. We gave that out, and then actually the Kings at +1.5. So if you want to play just 3 games, I would suggest playing these 3 and/or playing our top 3 NBA games. So if you have a BetAngles account and you're paying for a membership, then you can get these top 3 NHL and NBA bets every day. Again, during this video, we go through, we pick 4 games at random, we take a look at the best bets, and we hook you guys up and we tell you why. So definitely get at us. Catch us tomorrow, episode number 3. We're coming at you every day, 4 o'clock. The only best bet show around that's worth watching. Thank you, Craig. And we'll catch you guys soon. Thank you, Betty, our supercomputer that's giving us all these bets. And again, thank you, Sports Betting Nation, for checking us out. Tune in tomorrow. All we want to do is help you guys win money. That's why we're here. Catch you later. Peace.